This is Bear With Us Podcast.
Well, can we add Gurrrl? I mean, we aren't all manly like you.
Okay. How's this? This is Bear With Us, Gurrrl.
No. More like Gurrrl, like a glitter bear.
This is Bear With Us, Gurrrl.
Perfect. This is Bear With Us, Gurrrl, where we stir the honey pot with hot topics, body issues, the adult industry.
Fashion, news, pop culture, pup culture, and more.
From the bear perspective.
For and by the community.
I can barely stand it. Get it?
You're unbearable.
You always act like you're like, oh God,
No.
I love that cue.
No, but now I'm excited though to like look at our guest reaction for it to see what they think of it, because it's usually a more honest reaction than just you and I.
I love it. Teddy, it's been a hot minute.
It has been a hot minute. It's been like a little month since I've seen you.
Yeah, you've been traveling. I've been traveling.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of shared text about plane etiquette.
Well, we shared text because I was talking to you about like something that annoys me on the plane, and you were like, "That's me."
No, that is totally me.
So I'm the guy that like I do not understand people that like whenever you board a plane, you should go to your seat and instantly close your windows and just keep them closed. There is always that one person that like it's a morning flight and people are still trying to sleep.
That literally is me.
That keep the window wide open because they want to look at the clouds.
Yeah, I even took video of the clouds. Bitch, if I'm going to pay for a window seat, I'm going to enjoy every second I can of that window.
And I support you for 30 seconds to get that clip. But after that, you have this blinding light shining in that I just look at you like, I hate you.
But
I hate
I bought
you.
the window seat. I mean, are you supposed to keep it closed?
Yes. You're supposed to keep it closed and just everybody's supposed to be comatose and silent and not move and not bother me.
I'm the one that'll open that up. I'll turn the air full blast. I'll
Oh, I
order
do
my
that.
vodka right when I sit down. I'll be like, when you bring the drinks around, just know that you're going to be giving me like a vodka.
Oh, I got recognized on my plane ride recently.
Yeah?
Yeah, so I got on the flight. It was a Delta flight, and Delta always has the cutest flight attendants, by the way. And they're
They are
always gay.
so hot, and they're on Grindr all the time, too. But those pants?
As soon as I boarded with the flight, we were all waiting to board, saw this gorgeous flight attendant, and I made eye contact with other homosexual I saw on the plane, who I didn't know. I just knew you're a faggot too. So I literally made eyes at him, and I was like, oh yeah, to that flight attendant. The minute I landed, I checked my Twitter, and the flight attendant had tagged me, and he was like, oh my God, I saw a teddy bear in my flight. My pants just got tighter.
Did you follow up with
Oh,
him?
yeah, I did. Yeah, I did.
Did you?
I slid into his DMs.
Ah, girl. But plane etiquette, when there's like a screaming kid or something, should you just ignore it, or do you like address it and be like, can you tell your kid to shut up?
Well, no, I mean, that's why they make overhead compartments.
I have never seen so many animals lately. People are literally bringing their dogs. I thought that was like outlawed.
No, I mean, you can only do it now if it is actually legitimately a service animal. So the only ones you see on a plane are actually service animals. And I never mind animals on a plane. I don't even mind animals that are misbehaving on a plane because they're going to be less annoying than a baby.
Those kids. And then like when the kid in front of you turns around and stares at you, it's like, what are you staring at? And you're supposed to be like, hi. No, I don't do any of that.
Oh, I had recently a girl behind me who was barefoot and putting her feet through the seat because she was rested back. So I just had these like female toes just tickling
That's
behind.
disgusting.
Oh, that's when you just boom, break them.
And like the airlines say, dress comfortably. When I was a kid, my grandma and my mom would make me wear a tie on the plane. That's just how we were raised. You dress up to travel, but not anymore. People are literally wearing pajamas to travel. Do you think you should dress up?
I mean, I don't know why that's even still a question. I only wear sweatpants on the plane.
Do you own any shirts with sleeves, by the way?
I do, but like on the plane, so you know me, I overheat.
Yeah.
So the last thing I want to be doing on a plane is wearing long sleeves, like dress up this. It's just, especially too, I'm doing flights at like 5 a.m. Who am I trying to imply? I'm trying to be in sleepwear because I am trying to sleep.
And then you have me opening the...
You're the one that I look over and be like, you and your formal tux.
And we're flying to Florida for Bear Weekend in November.
Wait, are we sitting next to each other?
Yes.
All right, I'm about to change my own flight ticket.
Anyway, today's show is brought to you by Cybersocket.com, bringing you the best in gay erotica for over 25 years. And our co-media sponsor is...
Bear World Magazine, where
Right.
they have their weekly woof report.
Yes. So go to bearworldmagazine.com and cybersocket.com. Let's get the show on the road. Do you want to introduce our sexy guest?
I do, because this next guest, who is the host of the Real Housebears and a personal friend of mine, Hunter Harden.
Hunter Harden.
Oh my God, hello. So glad to be here.
Now, you are visiting. You actually live where?
Salt Lake City, Utah.
On purpose?
Oh, yeah.
What's going on out there?
There's a lot of stuff going on there. We got 2 more gay bars out there. So now
In
we have
Salt
a total
Lake.
of like 3. And there's a big gay community there. Lots of house parties. That's where you get to know everybody. Is the house parties. And if you open up Grindr, you will see so many faceless pictures and discrete profiles, like just torso pictures everywhere.
That surprises me. I thought Salt Lake City was nothing but like Mormons and no alcohol.
Salt Lake City itself is
There's
a melting pot.
there's a lot of gay Mormons.
Oh yeah.
Well, hello.
A lot of closeted gay Mormons.
Missionaryboys.com.
But the outskirts of Salt Lake City, that's where you get to all the Mormons. So they just stay on the outskirts with their families. They leave us alone most of the time. But I need to talk about some airplane stuff that you guys were talking about. For one, teddy bear.
you travel a
side
lot, too.
All right, which side are you on? Me or him?
I'm on your side. Because that person that has that window open, that sunbeam is going across the plane and directly onto my face.
Thank you. And
But it's a
migraines.
window.
Migraines.
And also, I'm burning up anyways on the plane because it's already hot. And so that sun ray is killing me. So I don't like that. Sorry, I love you, but I don't like that.
I already got 1 point, and you're losing so far.
And
God.
teddy bear, you basically are a service animal. So
That's true.
you deserve to be on that plane.
It says one of those things that says, like, please don't pet me. I'm a service animal.
Yeah. And as for like children on the plane, they just shouldn't be on the plane.
No,
Period.
they can walk.
Yeah. And like crying and stuff. Can you stop? Please.
my
Can you just
Lord.
stop doing that? Thanks. And looking at me? No.
Yeah, see, I don't. Why do kids just stare? And it's like, what?
yeah.
What do I want to do? And I'm not going to do baby talk. I'm not going to smile. I'm not going to give them a Cheerio. I'm not going to do any of that.
I'm just going to hiss at them.
Yeah. Hunter, I want to talk about your experience with the bear community. We've talked about this. You know, people are like, well, teddy bear is not a bear because he's muscular and fit. And I want to know from you, obviously, you were muscular and fit. Have you had any pushback? Like, you're not really a bear.
I don't think I've gotten too much pushback saying that I'm not a bear. I've just gotten a lot of pushback from just random people just not liking a bear in general, or don't like just hairy people in general, you know, which makes up the bear community. But no, I don't really get that much on my side of that. I'm just too fit, because I've got a little bit of a gut. I've got a little bit of something going.
Bitch, please.
I've got a little bit of
I love
something
when
going.
people say that. Whatever. Because like we went to IBC. In fact, you were at IBC, and most of the people did not look like you guys. Let's just be honest. But the bear community, in my idea, is still kind of segregated from the rest of the gay community. You know, we're in this period. We're talking about inclusion. We're talking about, you know, we're all family. But I feel that the bear community sets itself apart. But also, the WeHo queens are also not like, let's invite the bears. Like, it's still very separate.
I think there's definitely like layers of the bear community and stuff. Because what I get, and you might get this too, Teddy Bear, is when I talk to people at any kind of events, a lot of people are always like, thank you so much for talking to me, because people like you don't talk to me or give me the time of day. And that is something that I just don't understand, because I'm not better than anybody else. Nobody's better than me. We're all equal. We're all here to have fun. And I have the time of day for anybody. So I chat with anybody and everybody. It's not just like the A group of bears, you know.
I want to ask you, do you consider yourself an extrovert or introvert? Because I think you're more extroverted than I am, because you're very good at talking to like anybody.
Yeah.
You're not shy.
I'm very introverted. Well, I actually got into modeling years ago because I became agoraphobic and I wouldn't even leave the house. And so
my
this has
God.
been like a practice for me over all the years modeling, because it was something that I was terrified to do. But after I was done modeling, I was like, oh my gosh, that was thrilling, and I was able to do it. And since then, now I get to travel and talk to people and meet people. I used to think that I had the worst small talk game in the world, but now it's just become a habit. It's training myself, constantly doing that. When I went through COVID, I didn't leave the house for a year, and I started becoming agoraphobic again.
That started happening.
It's happened to a lot of
Yeah.
members of our community. It's, you know, there's like this fear, even like going to the mailbox or whatever, and it's not being talked about a lot, I think. But what first sparked your first bout of agoraphobia?
It was back in 2009 when the economy crashed. I was working construction, so I lost my job, and I had a partner, and we lived in a house out in Fernley, Nevada. It was basically the last city before Burning Man. And so I went to school online for graphic design, and I did that for a year and a half, and so I never left the house. And then just needing to go to the grocery store or driving anywhere gave me a full-on panic attack, because what if I get into a car accident? What if I hit somebody? What if I hit an animal? What if I get brain dead and can't find my way home? You know, just irrational things like that would keep me from even leaving the house. And then I got this opportunity from one of my friends. She said, I'm doing a project for college. I just need a male model. And I went and did it. And she's like, you are extremely good at this. And I was sweating, dripping sweat through it the whole time. And still to this day, when I do photo shoots and when I go out to events, you'll see that I'm sweating, and it's because I have high anxiety. And I'm just nervous in general. Like even for this, my hands are wet.
So see, that's the funny thing about you and I, in that like a lot of people who will say things like, "Oh, I assume like you're either stuck up or you're this." If you ever see us in an event and you think we're being stuck up or that, we're more than likely having a panic attack or an anxiety episode where we're just so closed off from anything. It has nothing to do with somebody's looks or anything. It's that a lot of people don't know that like you and I have that.
Yeah, please come and talk to us.
Yeah,
please come up and talk to us, because I would love that.
Like so you start a conversation, because we're the ones that are like, I'm crashing right now.
And most people know all of the information about us already. So like I have nothing to go by. So I just go by the key things like, are you from here? Mm-hmm. Oh, where are you based from there? Is this your first event? Did you come here alone? You know, the same basic questions that I ask everybody. And then I try to find out more questions to ask from there. But it's stressful. Yeah. Because everybody's staring at you constantly.
And it's so different because the personas that you both put on social media, you know, it's very bold. We see a lot of your body. You're very accessible. And so it's interesting that there's this dichotomy that you have in real life.
When I first moved to Salt Lake City, Utah, my husband first went there first to like find the houses, and he met some friends and stuff, and people found out that I was moving down there with them. And after getting to know a lot of the people there, I got this like 4 or 5 times. I didn't really want to like you when you were coming down here, because I thought you were just this conceited Instagram hoe that didn't.
Why do
that
people
was
assume that?
Better than everybody. I don't know. And so like people are always like, oh, well, now that I've met you, you're like an amazing person. I'm like, okay, well, you can just say I'm an amazing person instead of like going through like I didn't want to like you, because it feeds into my anxiety even more, because then when I'm at events and people are like talking and then looking at me, I'm like, oh, they're talking trash about me. They're talking bad about me. That's the thing that goes through my head. And it's happened before. I remember this one time I was dancing at the Heretic in Atlanta, and I was doing my one single move that I was nervous to dance, and these 3 guys in front of me started mocking the way I was dancing right in front of me. What? And so like from then on, I was like, okay, I'm just going to go out there and have fun instead of trying to focus on my dancing. And since then, I've just been having so much fun go dancing, and people feed off of that more. People don't want somebody that's just a stoic ornament, you know, sitting there being pretty. They want somebody to bring up the mood.
Well, the thing too is like when you book me and Hunter, which we actually have 2 gigs coming up this summer.
Where?
First one is in Seattle for Barracuda, and then second one is Paradise in Oklahoma City.
Oklahoma City?
Yeah.
Okay, this is my second event, Oklahoma City, at the same venue.
What is happening out there?
So Hunter told me about this one, and he said that it's a fun event. So I know it's Oklahoma, and that's why I'm like, I'm gonna trust you on this.
Honestly, we've been there twice now. I went there for Paradise to host their event, and then I went again for their Pride, and it's called the District Hotel, and it's a gay hotel with pools and stuff in it, and a big gay bar there. So it's all just right there in the same spot. And the people that are there in Oklahoma City are the friendliest, nicest people that I've ever met. I've met some long-lasting, true friends that I would vacation with just my first time in Oklahoma City. So Paradise in Oklahoma City, y'all, it's fun.
All right, I'm I'm trusting you on this one.
You're gonna have so much fun, and as soon as you get there, you're gonna hit the ground running. There's so much stuff to do.
Because I'm challenging myself with this one to like try and be more social, because like the event promoter, I'm letting us stay for like as many days as you want to, so I only have to work the one event, but I can stay the rest and you socialize and be friendly. And I'm like, am I gonna try and actually talk to people?
Gonna have to, but hey, you know,
but I have you there.
We're gonna be there, so it's gonna be so easy. And honestly, the people there are so friendly. They want to talk to you. They want to get to know you and stuff. It's honestly
It's not like the West Coast where people are like, "Why are you talking to me? What do you want?"
Honestly, the mid states and stuff, the cities that you wouldn't think that have a good gay atmosphere are probably my favorite places to go. For one, they're excited to see you there, and they haven't seen people like that there. And two, they tip. Woo, they tip. Love that. And they're just friendly. It's good old small town kind of atmosphere. But the Oklahoma City gay bar, the living room is inside of the District Hotel, so it's perfect. You don't have to go anywhere, and there's 2 different pools. And
Have you done Kansas City yet?
No, I heard.
I'll hook you up with that one.
Yeah, hook me up with that. Have you gone to Minneapolis?
And done the shower scene.
The shower?
Yeah.
Yes.
What's going on? You just like sit and shower in front of people?
So they have a rule there that just because there's a partition between the person and the bar, which is just a glass, they're able to have nude people dance in there.
Where is this?
Minneapolis.
Yeah,
I wanna go.
Is it called the Saloon in Minneapolis?
It's the Saloon.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was my favorite place to dance at because at the end of the night, you're sweating, you're tired, and I just pop in my last set into the shower and I soap up in there and they slide tips through the little holes, little slats, and slide it up, stick it on the wall, and shower up, rinse off, and then you're done. You can go home and go right to bed.
And like, I also love it too, 'cause especially since you and we are not go-go dancers. Like, we are go-go personalities.
Yes.
So like something like that, we can play a character as opposed to if you ask us to do a special dance move, it's not going to happen, honey. No.
Hunter, have you always been so in tune with like your body and sexuality, or how did that kind of come about?
Oh, Lord. My body hair took me a long time to get used to. I've had a hairy body my whole life. I've had long, thick peach fuzz fur all over my back, all over my body. My sisters used to pin me down and pull on my hair and call me furmonger. But then once I got into high school and stuff, and I remember this one specific time we went to a water park, and I was with all my friends, and they just were ripping on this guy that had a really hairy back. And I've just always stuck in my head for that. I used to shave my back, my butt, my arms, my legs. I used to shave everything down for years. And it wasn't until I was like about 25 when I was like, I'm just going to let this grow out. And then I started realizing, oh, a lot of guys like this fur. And I had a great pattern. My butt was definitely my best asset. Is it as good as Bear with Us? But yeah, and it took me a long time. And I'm still trying to figure out my sexuality because I have been a bottom basically my whole life, and I'm starting to now top.
That's awesome.
My husband a lot more lately. Haven't done it to completion yet, but we're definitely having a lot of fun exploring this new side of our relationship as well, and my side.
I mean, I personally think everybody should be, I mean, obviously do what makes you feel happy, but I think everybody should in general be verse, because that's the best thing about being gay that like straight people don't get to have. Like, we get to have it every which way.
Yeah, I was missing out, man. I was missing out on the top world. It's hot. Now I put on this trucker hat and I act all daddy.
I like that.
And I put on a cigar. I don't know if I'm doing it more for the fashion or more for the fun.
That sounds more like you.
Yeah, because I look daddy AF nowadays.
So exploring your sexuality, you know, we've seen your body, and you know, people just love you so much. Does it affect your relationship though? Has there ever been like jealousy issues or not, knowing that guys are sliding into your DMs, guys are jerking off to you?
Luckily, I have the strongest, best relationship, and we're monogamous, and I feel the only way that I can make this relationship work for both of us, because I'm traveling every weekend to all these big events, and there's people, you know, sliding into my DMs. There's a lot of hot guys that I'm hanging out with, and I would feel like that's torture to my partner, having me gone every weekend playing around with people and he's stuck at home. Yeah, there's not a lot of trade in Utah. So, and plus I'm very monogamous. We both were in a triad way before we met, and we both got cheated on really, really bad by the other person. And so ever since then, I just have never wanted the person that I'm with to feel like I don't love them. And that's what I learned from him, from my husband, is to just love that person as much as you can. Don't ever let them think that you don't. But yeah, every once in a while there might be something that comes up, but we talk through it. communication's the best medicine for anything. I feel, especially for a relationship. But yeah, we're tight. We're really good. I'm very, very lucky, and I'm very blessed with the relationship that I have with my husband.
And they also share the podcast together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you like podcasting?
I do. Our setup is not as good as this, y'all.
We fancy, bitch.
Oh man,
I'm not gonna lie. Like, I was really excited for you to come here because I'm like, Hunter's gonna go home and be like, babe, we need
we're doing
to step it up. We need to step our pussy up.
We've got a mic. We're in a closet, a hot closet that we call it. We take the clothes out, put the microphone in there, boom, 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 done. And then we're sweating, boiling in here. We can't even look at each other. We're just like bumping elbows constantly. I'm like, this sucks. So
I wonder if I wonder if in Utah they do have like a recording studio space you could rent.
They do.
Okay.
I just need to look into it more and do it. But
because your podcast is doing well.
Yeah, we've. Our podcast is really launching off, especially when Salt Lake City Housewives come on, because that's what our podcast is about, is going over the Real Housewives franchises. Right now, we're doing New Jersey. We finishing New Jersey because they're on the reunion right now, which I don't know if you're watching New Jersey, but Teresa is out of her mind.
So I just last night finished last seasons of New Jersey, the very last one, and the whole thing. So what I had seen was the whole thing of Teresa and Gia snorting coke thing.
Yeah, the analogy.
Then I was like, how did you not realize that was an analogy? And how did you dragged it out for so long because you knew you were in the wrong and you wanted just to turn around and be the victim?
If you watch this next season, it's even worse. Like the analogy still comes back up. She now thinks that Margaret is spreading rumors about Louis, her new boyfriend, about abusing women, but it's his exes that are coming out with all this info. She's literally just off her rocker. Like, it's trying to even explain it. I'd have to get a lobotomy.
You have to have it written out in like a pie chart.
Yeah, it's insanity. But but we started off on our honeymoon in Mexico doing the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City when they first premiered for their first season. And so every time we have a Salt Lake City Housewives franchise come on, our listenership goes up like tenfold. But then after that, it kind of dwindles down a little bit.
I was totally into Housewives for so many years. I watched every single Housewives of everything. And then it got to me, like, there was like an energy shift. And I think that it's been a little toxic in the last couple of years, where people have gotten really nasty, not just like fun hair pulling, but like there's been like a nastiness. Have you seen that kind of shift?
I'm definitely seeing a shift with cultures now. They're adding a lot more color and races to these Housewives franchises, which they need it because a lot of them are too whitewashed.
Mm-hmm. I had to stop watching Orange County because it was so nauseating.
Yeah, I can't do Orange County, and same with Dallas. Dallas became too much for me as well.
You know who I miss, even though she's a terrible person, she's probably going to go to jail. I miss Mary Cosby because she made good TV. Like her lines, she would say, were iconic.
Oh, her tagline for this last season was, "If you come for me, I will send Jesus after you." Like, is he like a mob boss? Like, for you, is he gonna like really put a hit out on me? But yeah, she's insane. But she is some good TV. Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness gracious! But yeah, there is a support group for her church. Past church members. There's an actual support group for them because of this church.
There's gonna be a documentary about it. I do expect one day.
Oh, there has to be. Like, it's insane. Like, she married her step grandfather. I mean, it's just an insane storyline, and she's definitely stealing from the church and using the church as her platform to be God. Mm-hmm. It's insane. Salt Lake City, man, that is a show to see. And now we've become really good friends with a lot of the housewives too. Like, Heather Gay is our really, really good friend. Jen Shaw sexually harasses me every single time I see her. She is constantly, like, the last time I saw her, she was like, she's like, you need to stop posting all these things on Instagram because I'm at home just licking my phone. And Coach is like, what are you doing? And she grabs my butt. Like, Heather and Jen, they grab my butt every single time they see me. They don't even say hi to me anymore. I'm just a butt to them.
I love that.
Which is great. I love it.
Could be worse.
I could be sexually harassed by all those housewives. Not fine. I don't give a hell.
We had Danielle Staub in studio on one of my other podcasts. And
Oh,
that was
wow.
Shut up.
interesting.
Really?
Yeah, that was very interesting.
That's iconic.
She was so different than what I had expected.
She was nice, wasn't she?
She was nice, down to earth. She was talking about women empowerment. She was talking about being a single mom. It was totally different than what we've seen on TV. It was.
Oh my god.
Did you ever listen to her single on Spotify?
Yeah, it was like yeah. Yeah.
Like the ballad.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I forget what.
It has 1,100 plays. This many years later.
It's doing All right.
Would you ever release a single?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Really?
If I could,
I was joking.
If I could do a single, if I had the opportunity to make a single, I would totally do it.
Can you sing?
No, not at all.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
No.
I'll auto-tune the hell out of that.
But talking about reality TV, you have a show that's premiering.
Yes. I have a show that's premiering, Go for the Gold. And I also brought something up to you recently about I was approached to do another TV show for MTV by a casting producer. And then, so I've done this enough that, like, I was like, okay, did she not pay attention to who I am? Like, what I do? I asked her, I was like, you do know that I do OnlyFans? And she's like, oh, hold on one second. Let me check. And then she said, okay, well, you can still be allowed to do the show, but you can no longer do penetration.
What?
And that actually is a rule for most reality TV shows. For like MTV, VH1, they all have a rule that you can't do penetration on film to be allowed on TV.
That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
But Kim Kardashian can have a sex tape and
Gets her own show for 20 years.
yeah, I mean seriously, it's like
You want to know why? Because she was ashamed. If you are ashamed of sex, you're
then
allowed
it's
to do
okay.
it.
It's
Oh,
like,
you could do ashamed porn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you're like, oh, I hate. Please, no.
Well, so-
this is unbearable.
So I decided. I see what you did there. I decided I'm going to start telling people that I've had a 4-year-long sex tape that keeps getting leaked every Friday with new updates and footage that I am just continually shamed about and promoting with link in bio. Shame.
that is amazing.
did you like filming the reality show though?
I did. It was a surreal experience, and like I'm also very proud of like Johnny, our director, because like he posted about it recently, and he literally lists he's the director, producer, editor, I think another title,
Marketing.
and
I mean, he's done everything.
I'm very proud of like the whole team that put it together. We filmed the whole entire show literally in a week, like during COVID protocols, so that's even harder, even longer, even stricter. Like it's something great that happened that like I never thought that we would get to have happen, because especially for go-go dancers, and you know this, like drag at least is respected, but back in the day, drag queens weren't respected. They were known as a thing that like, oh, at brunch there's this guy in a dress walking by. Well, now drag queens are 1 million followers, making millions of dollars, and hopefully like within maybe like a decade, that will happen to go-go dancers, because go-go dancers aren't really respected.
No, they're treated as ornaments instead of any kind of person, and that's why I don't want to be a go-go dancer. I want to be a go-go performer, and I feel like
What's
me and
the
you.
difference?
Go-go dancer is just there to dance. Go-go performer is there to give you an environment. They're there to give you an atmosphere. They're there to give you a character. And that's, I mean, I don't do the same moves over and over and over. I come out in multiple outfits, as Teddy Bear Gurrrl knows, and I know you do too. So it's always coming out there with more than just being a dancer or being an ornament on the box. And I feel right now this might be a great chance to actually start getting go-go's out there in the mainstream, and actually maybe even doing choreography with some of them, and actually building like kind of a little troupe or something that go-go dancers can actually look up to and actually be a part of, and be like, this is the new standard for go-go dancing. It's not just somebody up there in a jock dancing for tips. They're there to entertain.
What cracks me up about LA is people will give $1 and they think they can touch and poke everything. It's like
It's $1.
it's $1. I mean, yeah. And I'm sure you've had many interesting experiences. What's been like one of the craziest go-go experiences?
Ooh, this actually would have to be in Palm Springs.
Oh, Palm Springs.
At Hunter's. So the dancers are there. We're all in the back. One of my friend was 10 minutes late, and he called him saying, hey, I can't find parking. I'm going to be 10 minutes late. When he came in, the owner was so rude to him and fired him on the spot and was telling him to get out even while he was changing. He's like, I was literally 10 minutes late. And like, it was really, really uncomfortable. Anyways, he fired him, and he brought this other go-go on. And so when it was my time to go down, I went back to the back room, and this go-go is in his underwear, sitting on a chair with his head down, drooling all over himself. And so I run to go get like the manager or something, and his friend grabs me and he's like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, hey, your friend back there is like dead, I think. Because he's just like, he didn't say anything to me when I walked in or anything. He didn't move even when I touched him, and he's drooling all over himself. And he's like, oh, he's just in a K-hole.
Oh my God.
And that's the first time I ever heard of K-hole, and I'm like, good God, I don't want to go into one of those. Holy crap. So that was probably one of the weirdest things that I've had with actually like one of the go-go dancers, to be honest with you. Otherwise, you just get the same stuff at every event. You get the person that wants to give you $1, wants to stick their finger up your butthole, and you're like, no, that's 20s or at least a 10. And then you get the girls that are there that like go to hand $1, and then they're like, oh my God, you're so sweaty. So it's like the basic same stuff that you get at every event.
Can I tell you a funny story? So I had another experience in Palm Springs at Hunter's.
Oh God.
With a go-go dancer that they had hired quickly because they had fired another one because he was 10 minutes late. This seems to be a thing where, like, if you're ever late, you're just fucked up.
Yeah, you're just screwed.
No, so this guy was just like, because you know what, Hunters, you both have to dance on the same pool table. Mm-hmm. And so when you do that, you have two people on a thing. So if one person's dancing really fast, it's shaking you up and like throwing you off. He was doing everything, like almost jazzercising the leg, doing this like so much extra. And then he decided, there's that pool table over there. I'm here. I'm going to jump and do a split to connect my leg to both pool tables.
Oh, no.
Do you think he landed that?
No.
He fell face on the ground. You heard an audible smack.
Oh my God.
He then instantly, instead of like acknowledging that he hurt himself, starts twerking on the ground.
Yes, ma'am. You are a soldier.
I mean, he's basically bleeding at this point. He's like, I'm going to still keep going.
Well, have you seen like a couple years ago that the championships for pole dancing, and that girl was up like 2 stories and she fell flat down on her face, and when she fell on her face, she still kept twerking.
No.
She broke her jaw, chipped out some of
my
her teeth,
God.
broke her shoulder, but she kept it going. Like that is...
I shouldn't laugh.
But that's props, man. But you know what was good was the bar, of course, was like, I'm not liable for any of this, like medical bills or anything. So the community raised up enough money for her to get all of her stuff in her teeth fixed. My goodness. But man, what a trooper. I don't know if I would be that brave.
I'm not going to die for this, for go-go dancing.
I would be like, ow, ow, just for like 10 minutes.
Oh no, I'm a diva about it. I was at I did an event at like precinct, and like one of the stairs like was moved too far to the left, and I like almost fell off of it. In my head, I'm like, I'm out for the night. This is not in my contract. Do you know who I am?
Such a drama queen, girl.
I love that.
All right, Hunter, so give us your best sex tips. Especially now that you're kind of, now you're exploring the top side.
Sex tips.
You gotta be more specific. Are we talking about for topping, bottoming?
Well, I would just say be open to anything and everything. Not
open,
literally and figuratively. Be adventurous and try new things. I mean, if sex gets too robotic and it's the same thing over and over, it gets boring. I mean, you could even put in like role playing, you could put in characters. I mean, me and my husband have had a couple of... I've had the teacher fantasy inside of a real school.
Oh, I remember you telling me that.
In his middle school class. We've had a kidnap fantasy, was too intense for me.
Oh, God.
That's
pretty...
Yeah, it was
That's
out
out
there.
there.
Wait, can you tell us about the kidnap fantasy?
Yes. So we were in Georgia in a new house that we were didn't really know yet because we were watching it for a friend, and it was 2 stories, and there was a basement, and my husband's like, okay, let's do this kidnap fantasy. He literally went down there. He put a metal table down there with a cloth. He laid out all of the toys down there, like medical instruments, put one black light bulb and rope from the top, and he handcuffed me, put a bag over my head, put me in the car.
Oh my God.
Drove around, but he didn't want it to seem like he drove around in a circle back to the house. So he found some kind of route, and then all of a sudden I heard like a garage door open, and I was like, this house doesn't have a garage door that I knew of. So I was like, did he bring me to a storage unit? Then he brings me in there and he ties me up, and then he takes the blindfold off for 1 second, and I see all the toys out there, and then he blindfolds me again, and then the night started. And he even created like this Scream dungeon like music playlist to go along with it. So
that's too much for me.
I'm
sorry, babe.
It was very much like I was like, oh yeah, kidnap fantasy, hot, and then it happened. I'm like, no, I don't. Abort. What's the safe word again? Can you take this tape off my mouth? So and we've done like the boy next door, the dad next door kind of fantasies a lot, and right now we're kind of doing this really fun fantasy right now where I'm his stepson, actually grown up into his 30s now, and now he's coming back home, and now we're playing again. and now I'm topping him.
That's
so
hot.
It's so hot. We have a full fantasy and everything. It usually comes with like a Mack truck hat or something that you put on, and that's your costume.
I hope that like the older you guys get, the more lore gets added to your characters, that it becomes this like long and like where there's not even sex at this point. It's just this long character arc build up. And,
A journey. It's going to be a 100% journey, and we're just going to write a book, and then we'll be done.
But I'm
with
glad
it.
you're putting effort. I think over like the last few years, my experience, people like guys have gotten really lazy about sex. You know, it's like put some imagination into it, try something different. It's become so like functional and like not exciting.
Yeah.
Has that been your experience?
I wanted to ask you about like, so does he have any interest in the furry community? Your husband?
No, but he does indulge in my interests in the furry community.
Okay.
Like wearing the outfit?
Yeah, like I don't wear the outfit, but I watch a lot of like furry drawn porn.
Fursonas.
Fursona porn, like
Fursona? Is
like
that-
people drawing animal porn, but fursona
so
porn.
funny.
Because for one, all of my friends are porn stars. And so whenever I open up anything, there's my friends getting dicked down or dicking someone down. And I'm like, okay, I can't get into this. I know this person. I have no fantasy here.
It is funny when I see your Twitter, Teddy. I'm like, oh, God.
Yeah. So it's hard for me to watch porn. I don't watch a lot of porn anymore because of that reason. Because I'm like, oh, I know him.
Yeah.
I know him.
But I don't either, because like it's what I do for work, and like I know other people. So I'm the same way of like I want to have a fantasy, and there's no fantasy when I'm looking at my friends and be like, oh, girl, your camera work was sloppy, or the editing here. Like you want to escape.
I mean, even on my phone right now, I have Daddy Trucker Bowser as my screensaver.
Oh, whoa.
Oh yeah, Bowser.
He's a good one.
Oh yeah, and Bowser's verse too, in that world. I see a lot of drawings of him doing both sides. So I get into a lot of that furry anthro.
Now, have any of your fans or have you commissioned somebody to draw you as a fursona? Because like I've had, I drew a fursona version of Teddy Bear before.
I have never had one yet, but I actually just last week I sent a message to one of my favorite artists saying I just love all of your artwork, and he's like, well, I really want to draw a fursona of you. And I was like, yes, please. I was like, I don't know what I am. Am I just a slutty bear, or am I a fun husky? I don't know what. I'm like, well, you can do whatever you want.
Well, you can create your own animal, because mine is literally a half wolf, half bear, kind of lion.
Yeah,
it's just furry animal.
I would have to say mine is definitely trucker, slutty daddy bear mixed with cute little sport pup husky kind of personality.
You definitely need a tail.
Yeah. Oh my God. I need a tail.
Do you remember the Lindsay Lohan fursona NFT came out and everybody was so mad because she didn't have ears?
Oh my gosh.
What is
I
this?
forgot about this.
So, you want to explain?
No, you can go.
So Lindsay Lohan, her first foray into NFTs was a fursona of Lindsay Lohan.
That's insane.
But what the insane part was, her character didn't have ears. And
what kind of animal was
and
she?
so the whole furry community was like, "What? This is atrocity. That's not a fursona. Well, you missed the whole point."
Poor Lindsay. She just can't get
She
anything
just can't
right.
get anything right.
It's like, come on, girl.
She can't dance right. She can't do cocaine right. Like, come on, you guys.
Vitamins.
Yeah,
vitamins.
Pick a lane.
She started a podcast this last week.
The Lowdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, is it good?
I haven't listened to it. Sorry, Liz.
I'll listen to it.
But she's like a train wreck that we keep wanting to be a train wreck. It's like we don't want Lindsay to.
No, I do. I want her to do well.
Yeah, I do too. I want her to do well.
For myself, that I got.
I feel like
to pitch.
That's just you.
I feel like she's kind of a mess, and she just needs a little bit of love.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully.
Her music was good.
Did you ever have a messy phase in your life?
Oh my God, my 20s were definitely messy. It got, not sexually wise, but more drug wise. Especially, like at one point I was living in a basement by myself, and I never left, and it just got really bad, and I was drinking a lot, and I had so many beer bottles left out that it was growing mold, and it gave me an infection in my armpit.
Oh my.
Wow.
What?
So that was when I stopped drinking. Well, I still drink, but I don't drink, like that anymore. Like, holy crap. And it was like just a messy time. And I've done almost every drug out there too. I mean, I still smoke pot, but that's legal. And that's fun, but yeah, I haven't gotten into too much of a messiness in my life. I haven't gotten into any trouble with the law. Haven't gotten into any bad sex stuff. I've only been with 3 people in my entire life. Well, dated 3 people in my entire life.
I was about to be like, Hunter.
Don't look at me.
I'm like, Ellen, is that the real truth?
Yeah, no, don't look at me.
How did you work through that addiction with drugs?
I actually found a great first boyfriend. He was twice my age. He still to this day is my best friend. We talk every week. But he was sober and for 13 years when I met him. So I just kind of stopped living that lifestyle. One of my friends was getting hooked on heroin at the time and was trying to get me on it. And I was like, I can't be a part of this world anymore. And so I kind of separated myself from all my friends, and I was in a relationship for 8 years. And then I became agoraphobic. So stop doing drugs, you become agoraphobic, I guess. Just kidding. Totally just kidding. But yeah, it's I had a great people in my life, and I didn't need anything else to get in the way. I just smoked pot a lot. I'm a big stoner.
Do you smoke pot, Teddy?
I do once in a while, but honestly, I just would do it if I'm trying to eat a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't do it to get, like, high. I've just done it when I'm like, okay, I want to eat a lot and not eating enough, or I can't sleep.
Got a bulk.
Yeah.
Got a bulk. Yeah.
Well, if
I do have to say, you do constantly have kind of a stoner look.
Oh.
Your eyes constantly look a little stoned. You constantly like, what's up, man? What's
Thanks.
up? I love it. It's totally your look.
Thank you.
That is funny. He's just like,
I'm not trying to look like a stoner.
You just look very chill constantly. You're just like,
I'm not.
I'm not.
It's constant chaos inside.
You're like, I'm dying on the inside. Please don't look.
how much time do you spend on social media each week? Because I know you have a very healthy Instagram. You have a very healthy following. How many hours do you think you spend time?
Oh my goodness. Man, I spend a lot of time on social media. I'll just leave it at that. I spend a lot of time on social media, and it's mostly figuring out what I'm going to post next, going through other people's algorithms and seeing what's working for them, and just liking things, and then having to go through and comment on every comment and answer every message. And once you answered all those messages, they all respond back. So then you got all those messages again. So it's like it's a never-ending thing.
How about you? Do you answer all of your messages? I know I always send you LOL.
I get overwhelmed by it. I try to look through it every once in a while for ones that are like either nice, or more so if you say a creative message, you'll get a reply. Like if it's just saying something like "you're hot," that's not a conversation. That's just like it makes me feel awkward. But if it's just something like you're saying, like anytime it's a message saying like "thank you for encouraging me to not be ashamed of being hairy," those I always respond. Because I'm like, I know how much that means to that person. Mm-hmm. If it just says like "hot," send dick, pic now.
Yeah.
And then you look at the profile too and they don't even follow you.
Yeah.
You're like,
See, that's weird. But I prefer just like send the dick, send whatever you want. Like, let's get this going. I don't need to like talk it all out.
but I'm not just going to send a random person here dick, go to a stranger that you never even talked to.
Have you ever gone on a date from somebody that you've met through your DMs?
I mean, maybe like decades ago, but you know me, I don't date.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true. When's the last like date you went on?
It's been 7 years.
My God.
You are so high profile now. There's no way you can date.
The one thing I would,
I mean, Delta Airlines is,
I mean,
up in your
yeah.
grave.
I'm not gonna lie. If I were to ever like quote unquote create a reality show, I would do it. I think I would do a dating show where you would be the one trying to set me up to get somebody to date.
Oh, I would love that. In a heartbeat, I
Because
would
the whole
love that.
show literally would be just me being like, I don't want to go. I don't want to do the date. And you're like, we're going to force you.
You're going to wear this. You're going to have
Yes.
sleeves on it. I'm sorry.
And each date is just me telling the person, I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this.
But like, what kind of guy do you think you would respond to? Older, younger?
Yeah, what's your flavor?
Yeah.
I honestly, it's been so long. I generally don't know anymore. Like it would have to be somebody that is very respectful of my independence. Like you cannot be somebody that's going to try and control or tell me what to do, because it's not going to be hard for me to be like, bye.
Yeah.
I don't know. I got to think about that.
Uh-oh, Teddy. Don't be off the market for so long. You'll forget how to date.
No, but that is very true.
But that's not the thing is like, that's not a bad thing.
Oh,
Like,
yeah. Independency is great.
But it took me so long to learn how to genuinely love myself that, like, if I do spend the rest of my life alone, I'm not alone. I have myself. And that's not a bad thing. Like, I know we're told that is, and it's not. You know what I mean?
Oh, I'll crumble if I don't have somebody.
Really?
Need somebody. Yeah, I need somebody in my life. I will completely crumble
kidnap you.
under my own psyche. Yeah, I need fantasy in my life. I need a storyline. I need to keep this book going. But yeah, I've always been in a relationship. I've only been single for maybe a year in between the triad breakup and stuff. But I was still living with my exes.
Oh, that's messy, girl.
Yeah, I was like,
That's
I was like,
messy.
you're not describing something healthier than what I just said.
No, but it did end up good for me. I
Okay.
did end up finding the love of my life, and now I'm married, and I'm very, very, very happy with this. I'm glad that I had to go through turmoil in a relationship to find out what I really needed in a relationship as well.
Where did he propose to you at?
At the Salt Lake City airport, our brand new airport that was built like a couple months before that. I was coming back from a Circuit Mom drag and drive-in event in Chicago, and I was performing with Bitch Put In and Landon Cider. And that was my first time getting to meet Landon Cider, so I was like thrilled to actually be in her set, or his set. And then I came back, I flew back, and I had a migraine that I just took a pill. I was so tired. I just wanted to get home, and I was going through that airport. And then there he is. He's all dressed up super nice, waiting in the airport. And I was like, oh, that's nice. He dressed up to come pick me up. And then he got down on one knee, and he said he asked my mom for her blessing.
God, how cute.
And I, of course, said yes. And then he wanted to get married a week later. And I was like, well, I want to work this fiance thing for at least 2 weeks. And I want a cute date. So we got married on 10/30/20. So, and it's the day before Halloween's. Halloween's my favorite time of the year, and fall's the favorite time of the year. Plus, no matter where we go for our anniversary, there's always a party going on anywhere because it's Halloween weekend. So we did it like that, and we got a few friends, and one of our friends worked at a restaurant called Squatters, and he got us the top balcony with a table. And, you weren't allowed to have more than 10 people at the time because of COVID. Well, he was able to swing some things around, and I got to have some of our friends there say it was an engagement party. And then our straight barber officiated us right there and surprised everybody with a wedding.
That's so cute.
Yeah, so it's just quick and easy, and it was just, we're gonna have a big party and a ceremony one day, but we just wanted to get married so bad, and we just loved each other so much we just couldn't wait.
That's so cute.
Do you think you do like your party for when it's like a landmark anniversary number?
Probably 5th year or something.
Yeah.
Also when we can like build up some money and stuff too.
To have a good party, yeah.
COVID, like I'm sure for you too, being in the entertainment industry, I didn't work all year.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So I'm still kind of building up from that. But since 2021, I've been to like 26 different cities in 16 different states.
I really just hope we never close down again. I don't
know if I'll make it.
like. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do this again.
Yeah. It was rough.
It was rough. It was rough for so many people. But in the entertainment industry and stuff, drag queens and stuff, it was just so hard.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because like at least with. And this didn't make it easier, but at least drag queens could perform a show. Go-go dancers really couldn't, because the whole point of go-go is to literally physically basically be touching or close enough to the guy. Mm-hmm. And especially if, like, since you and I we're not dancers, there's just really no point to doing, like, go-go virtual.
Yeah.
So that whole thing for go-go's was just gone.
Yeah. Yeah, like you said, I'm not a professional dancer at all, so I'm just go out there just to have fun, and that's what and sportsmanship.
Well, that's why whenever we had like the TV show Go-Go for the Gold, and like I talked to Hunter about it, and I was like, I'm glad you didn't do it, because like he's somebody that would have been great for TV, but this kind of dance show.
Yeah,
no.
Like when the producers and Johnny, they came to me and like, you have a spot on this show, you just need to fill out a thing. And I was like, well, let me think about it. And then when I found out who the judges were, and I was like, okay, well, I don't know where that leaves me, because I'm not a porn star. I'm only a go-go dancer and a model, so that's all I'm known for. And I've been traveling and touring nonstop for the last year and a half. And I was like, well, I don't know if I need to be in a show to make me the best, because I think I already am the best.
Oh, snaps.
No, exactly.
I do want to say that I am probably the highest in demand go-go dancer that definitely is not a porn star either, because that's what a lot of companies, they are like, oh, so a lot of times when porn stars go and do events, they also escort while they're there so they could get some of the money in that. And I'm like, no, I have a performer's fee and all that stuff. And it's kind of high, but that's because of I'm not a porn star. This is my only job. And when I do go to these events, I give you 150% and I go all out and I make it memorable. And ever since then, it's just been snowballing for me. I'm constantly working now. I'm getting booked for events and hosting events that I never would have thought I could have been a part of, and I'm like headlining them. Getting to be the guest judge for TBRU in March, that was probably one of my...
What's that?
Texas Bear Roundup.
Oh, I love that title.
Oh my gosh, you need to go to where I'm going to get you in a TBRU next year.
Okay.
Because it was probably one of the funnest bear events I did. But I was the only guest judge there, and it was just... It was kind of like I made it somewhere other than just dancing. So it's been really, really cool. And I have a lot of opportunities coming for the future. And I'm working with a choreographer right now for some shows. And I'm going to be headlining a bear cruise in 2024 or 2025.
Wow.
Yeah. And so since with this choreography and stuff, I'm going to kind of try to get a troupe of go-go's and stuff. And me and Teddy have talked about doing something together, some kind of reality show as well.
So you know what's funny, very serendipitous? So on my drive here to record with you, I was literally stuck behind an RV that said Bears RV. And we've talked about that we should try and get like a group of like go-go's to get like an RV together.
I love that.
And record like a show of us all going around the country
I
to
love that.
gig
Yeah.
to gig.
And I think it would be,
I'll drive.
And I think it would be good to like,
Imagine.
and I think it'd be really good to go to these small cities and small towns and kind of highlight a go-go dancer there and ask and be like, what's it like for you being a go-go in a small town and stuff, and teach them some choreography and have them be in our show and give them everything.
That's very similar to like the idea of like we're here. And I like that because like the thing is like, whenever they highlight go-go dancing, usually it's only, the super smooth, muscled out guy at like the Abbey in like a big city, big club.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, what about the go-go who's like, trying to hustle and make it in a smaller town, who isn't that cookie cutter looking guy, but has something different to offer.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I would love to do, is just kind of make it more of a community piece, as well as trying to like touch on the basis of what people idolize in the gay community as being the ideal body image. I want to have everybody, age, size, race, everything, and trying to find people in these small towns that are kind of stuck in that mentality, and try to lift them up a little bit and and give them some notoriety.
Well, and actually on cybersocket.com, we've introduced a go-go spotlight. And so we are spotlighting go-go's from smaller towns. And it's really an interview about their personal life and, who's the person behind the dick, So cybersocket.com.
Who's the person behind the dick? But yeah, there's just not a lot of things out there for go-go's. And I think now, especially with Go-Go for the Gold, I think we're going to see a lot more opportunities for go-go dancers, and because a lot of go-go dancers, especially for like me and you could not be a drag queen because we're so hairy. I mean, we could be drag queens, but like, that's not in us. Like, that's not in me, but I still want to be a performer in the gay community. And I kind of feel like right now you either are just a porn star, or you are a drag queen, or you're both, or you're all three: go-go, porn, drag queen. So for the people that don't want to do porn, or the people that don't want to dress and drag, there's more outlets for you out there.
The time has come already for the end of
wow.
our show.
That went by so quick.
It
Wow.
did. Hunter, can you tell everybody where you want them to find you and follow you?
Yes, I am on Instagram at Hunter Harden. I am on Twitter at Hunter Harden 86. Could not snag that Hunter Harden tag name on there. And you can also follow me on my podcast with my husband at The Real Housebears. And you can listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts at The Real Housebears.
I love that. And Teddy, where can people find and follow you?
You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Mr. Teddy Bear Gurrrl.
Gurrrl. And I'm Alexander. You can find me on Instagram at AlexanderIsOnAir, and that's another show.
Yay. Thanks, guys.
Thank
for being
you.
a part.
We'll see you on the plane.
Yes. You better not open that window. I will murder you. And I
down.
need Teddy Bear next to me so I could pet him.
Yeah.
Just lay on the fur.
Yes.
All right, until next time, stay sexy. Right.
That has been another episode of Bear With Us, Gurrrl, presented by Bearworld Magazine and Cybersocket.com.
Please take a moment to like, subscribe, comment, rate, all the love and support you can give, guys.
Questions, comments, and suggestions? Email us at bearwithusgurrrl, 3 R's, @gmail.com.
Until next time, embrace the fur.
Grrrr.